Meg 2: The Trench is finally swimming to theaters. But there is blood in the water. Critics are having a feeding frenzy with the movie, and their biting reviews might just sink the movie's box office potential. One of the biggest, most unexpected hits of 2018 was The Meg. Based on Steve Alten's book of the same name and starring Jason Statham, the movie earned $530 million at the global box office, potentially birthing a new franchise for Warner Brothers. After all, Alten's series does include 8 books to pull from. While the pandemic got in the way, the sequel is finally upon us, in the form of Meg 2: The Trench. Unfortunately for moviegoers, and more importantly Warner Brothers, its financial prospects are looking particularly grim in light of the film's critical reception. Reviewers are roundly displeased with director Ben Wheatley's take on the giant killer shark genre. As of this video, Meg 2: The Trench carries an abysmal 27% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with 78 reviews counted. More critics still have to weigh in, but that is a terrible start for a movie that had a reportedly $185 million production budget. Warner Brothers also didn't lift the review embargo until just before the first showings of the movie were set to begin in the US. This suggests that they knew critics weren't going to like what Wheatley cooked up. The big question right now is whether or not general audiences align with critics on this one. As we've seen plenty of times in the past, critics and moviegoers can wildly disagree on a film. Just look at another 2018 blockbuster, Venom, which was trashed by critics but widely embraced by audiences, on its way to an $856 million worldwide. Having said that, this is a rough way for any blockbuster to begin its run. In this case, the movie in question truly needed all the help it could get. The big problem here is that Meg 2 was already skating uphill in terms of its prospects at the box office. The sequel was expected to make somewhere between $22 million and $27 million domestically on its opening weekend, but that was before these reviews dropped. Even at the top end, that amount is not exactly what a studio wants to see for a blockbuster that cost this much to produce. Granted, the first movie made the lion's share of its earnings, more than 72% of its total haul, from international ticket sales, so it's not as though a small domestic debut is a final nail in the coffin. But if these reviews impact potential viewers who are already on the fence, things could get ugly. Part of the reason the movie will struggle on its opening weekend, even without the negative reviews, is its heavy-hitting direct competition. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem just hit theaters and is earning rave reviews. To make matters worse, Barbie continues to be an unexpectedly huge juggernaut and very well could become the highest-grossing movie of 2023. The Trench is competing not only with those movies, but Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer as well. That's to say nothing of the surprise horror hit Talk to Me, or Disney's Haunted Mansion. Given these obstacles, a wave of negative reviews heading into the opening weekend for Meg 2 is the last thing this movie needed. That being said, it's not as though the original movie was a critical darling.
What happened last time?
You don't want to know.
The Meg currently holds a 46% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, to go with a 43% audience rating. So the negative reviews for the sequel might not sink the movie. But if 2023 has taught us anything, it's that audiences are no longer just going to turn up for a franchise movie based on their love of a franchise alone. 2018 was only 5 years ago, but in terms of the landscape of the theatrical side of the movie business, those 5 years are an eternity. That year we had 5 movies make at least $1 billion globally. This year, it's probably only going to be 2. Beyond that, we've seen franchise movies such as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Shazam: Fury of the Gods, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, The Flash, and even Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 fall short of expectations. It's not just enough to be connected to a franchise anymore, and that's certainly working against Meg 2 here. The other problem is that the original came out a half-decade ago. Were it not for the pandemic, it would have been more beneficial to have the follow-up hit theaters in 2020 or 2021. Perhaps even more concerning is the fact that The Meg made a massive chunk of its money in China, $153 million to be exact. But Hollywood movies are not performing particularly well across the Pacific anymore, with the exception of Avatar: The Way of Water. Because of this, the odds of the sequel being bailed out by overseas audiences are even more slim. Put simply, there was blood in the water before, and the critical reaction just chummed it up even more.